Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. So today I am covering the AI Vibes event held by Tal Navarro, and I'm having so much fun. I was able to get AyseDeniz on the line, and I said that correctly, AyseDeniz?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Just caught her off stage, had an amazing performance. First off, I just want to say I really enjoyed that performance, and thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So just to catch the audience up that weren't here, obviously, you got to play with AI. You got to play with a legendary musician as well. Talk to me about that experience.
Yeah, it was the first time we incorporated AI with Scott because I've performed with him before. Scott Page, the amazing saxophonist of Pink Floyd and Supertramp. And yeah, he is so humble and just a great person, very modest. So today was like very spontaneous. We first tried to generate some AI beats and then a little bit like showed the audience how it works. And then we jammed over an electronic track I created using AI. Literally, like, really, like, spontaneously, because I told him about this yesterday, because Tal was like, oh, you know, like, are you going to do something?
It's amazing.
Literally, yeah. Tal was like, oh, I told everybody that you would incorporate AI music in the performance. The AI part was the visual part. And we were like, you did? And so we're like, okay, let's do it. So jammed over that, like, just improvised. And then we did the Pink Floyd arrangement that I have transcribed in the style of Franz Liszt, who is a classical composer. So in my previous project called Pink Floyd Classical Concept, it's basically reimagining Pink Floyd songs as if they were written 200 years ago by this Hungarian classical composer. So it has a lot of like virtuoso passages on the piano. So we created like a new genre in a way because it's not classical and it's not rock. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
One of the other things that you did this a test with the audience. You had 3 different versions of a Chopin song.
Yeah.
Like talk to me about that.
Yeah. So that part was a sneak peek, and it was just like fun thing I do usually at the AI concerts I do, where I ask the audience, can you tell like which one is composed by AI, which one is composed by me, and which one is by Chopin? Because I try to generate music that is in the style of legendary composers. And Chopin was obviously one of them. And I am working on Mozart one, Bach, Beethoven. I've done a Vivaldi one before, where you can watch on YouTube. It's like a whole orchestra.
Yeah.
And I'm playing with the AI orchestra, which is kind of insane. So yeah, I have a lot of fun, but like my goal is to educate the people and really preserve history and really like credit all the amazing composers that like led the way and created and invented a lot of this that we're using now.
And you talk about your process and how you're collaborating with AI. So sometimes people think, I was fascinated because I haven't heard somebody like yourself with your musical background who could curate working with the AI and dig deeper and be able to pull out, you know, there's a lot of that comes out, but how much of it's actually good? What are you going to use? Talk a little bit about your process.
Yeah, the process is very meticulous, I would say, because, you know, people might think, oh, she just pushes a button and then it comes out. It's not necessarily like that. I actually spend a lot of hours just trying to build a piece. It's almost like a puzzle pieces, but you build those bricks too. Like kind of like, so I generate like, you know, lots of tracks, and then I pick the one that has like a seed, like a really meaningful core, and then I extend it, and then I if I need to, then I export it to my project file separately, and then I edit it, add layers or add other sections, and like so it's like curation.
Yeah.
But I try to make it so that it makes sense to listen to a piece and it's coherent and it has like an intro and a middle section, maybe a different format. And like there are so many forms in classical, like rondo or sonata form and like fugue, and so it's interesting to see if I can build those things from AI generated music.
What are your favorite some of your favorite parts about working and creating with AI and melding it with your traditional process and practice? Like what are some of your favorite parts?
I think my favorite part is just the speed of it is incredible. So it would take like, I don't know, like something that I don't know, let's say is electronic beats, right? Like I don't know how to create electronic beats. I'm not a DJ. And when I ask AI to create beats, it's just so fast and so like good that I don't need to like spend money to hire producers. And like, it's just, I was talking a little bit about how like the music industry is really at a low at this point, I think, just because like it's so hard to earn money from music streams. It's just like it's another topic. But I think AI is enabling us to try new ways and experiment and have really good results without spending money too much on recording studios, or you could still record, but it's more like an orchestra, for example. It would cost me like $20,000 to record within a symphony orchestra per day.
Yeah,
and it's just not gonna happen. Unless it has happened before, but only one time when we were working on a huge project and they sponsored it, and so these things are rare, and AI is really benefiting the independent and the up and coming and emerging artists for sure. So I really like that. And also it's really creative. So I could just make mistakes, and that's great. Because I could be okay, now make this Oriental and samba beats, merge them. It's just nice to just imagine what would happen, So it expands my horizons, and sometimes it's a really unexpected result, and I'm wow, that just actually worked, and I would have never imagined it to work. So I think it's really getting out of the whole little nitty processing things that I would normally spend hours on, and then really being able to be okay, if I could create anything, what would it be?
Wow.
It's really
without bounds now. So your creativity is wow. Final question to the new up and coming artists, to people that are just musicians out there specifically that are just getting acclimated to AI or thinking about where it fits within their world or their creativity and what they're doing. You've been working on this for a bit now. What kind of things would you tell them as they explore their creative process with it?
Yeah, I think they should figure out some tools, because AI is here and it's going to stay. It's going to happen. So regardless of their position, I think it's really, really good for them to start learning those tools and seeing what's happening in technology and how can I incorporate it so it doesn't take over my job. And so I think I really just suggest them diving into it, Googling music AI companies and tools, and then just trying. That's what I did. Literally, I'm not a tech person, I just started experimenting with them, and I found my own way that I really like, and it has a direct link to my career where it benefits me. And as a pianist, especially because I love being on stage, it's enabling me to create shows in such speedy ways that was impossible before. You can ask me now, create a whole concert in 2 days, based on, I don't know, ancient Egyptian language, blah, I don't know what. And then I could do that literally. I can go home and start generating all this stuff.
And you can do that. I do want, because I want to bring up one thing. I know I said that'd be the last question, but we're still on time. Don't worry, but I know you got to go. But you can do it because you're classically trained. You have all of this, I would say, encyclopedic knowledge of what you went through. And I guess maybe just sprinkle a little bit of this, what you mentioned on stage, because it's not like you're just this, and I don't mean this, no disrespect to anybody that's out there creating or getting started, but you put in the work to be able to do this. Right. Can you just comment on that just for a moment or two? Because that's the way you talk about it. I would have thought one thing, but then when you explained to me the rigor you went through, I'm yeah, she can do it, but that's because it's her.
Thank you. Well, it's the first time I'm talking about these things now, because I never thought I would speak about it. Basically, in college, I studied piano performance, but also keyboard literature, in which we had to analyze every piece written for the keyboard instrument, from even not just the grand piano, all the historic, harpsichord, clavichord, all the earlier instruments too, and even not even just piano, also Gregorian chants, just really early music to now. And we were given in the exams snippets to either listen to, let's say 15 seconds of a piece, and then we would need to exactly tell them who wrote this, which year, where was it, which part of the piece is it. That's the hardest part.
Gosh.
You would need to tell it could be a 30-minute thing.
I was thinking, for my little understanding, I'm it's like a sommelier. That's what I was thinking when I'm saying there.
Exactly,
what is the grape? What's the flavor? What's the period? What was the soil like? What was the...
It's crazy. And then there are also other exams we had to take where they would give us sheet music with missing notes.
Yeah, gosh.
And then we would need to fill in those notes, and then also talk about what was the structure and even masses. It's we would need to write the notes of a Kyrie or something, or a Hallelujah.
But now that, in retrospect, that so training useful. For what you're able to do, you can do a concert or create something, but that's because you have all this massive body of work that you've already put into it.
Yeah, so what happens now is when I hear an AI-generated music, I can hear the data. Like I'm like, I can hear how that was trained.
That blows my mind.
And then
by the way.
I'm like, okay, well, and then I can even hear the specific pieces that were used in the training, because like, you know, so and there's a lot of like compositional elements too. Like, you know, we have like a theme, and some composers flip it upside down, they reverse it, and like all these cool things they do. But you just need to like hear it, and yeah, so it's been interesting. I like it.
I had to bring that out. I know that the last one was the final question. That was the final one. Other than, I want you to look into the camera and tell the audience where they can follow you, hear your music, and stay connected.
Of course, you can follow me on all social media platforms if you search for AD Pianist. So those are my initials, A, Alpha, Delta, yeah, and Pianist as in piano player. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, even my website is adpianist.com. YouTube channel also AD Pianist, and I have a ton of videos, and I've also put some of the last AI compositions that I've created there that I'm playing myself. So yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And to the audience, just so you know, we'll put the links to the website and all that good stuff in the show notes. And speaking to the audience, if you haven't hit that subscribe or follow button yet, definitely do that, because this is a daily show. Each and every day we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey. So hit that follow or subscribe button. And again, thank you so much for making some time for us.
Thank you.